Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Welcome to the Mind Your Business podcast. I just want to welcome everybody back today. Haven't been on for a little bit, and I missed you guys. Hope you missed me. So today we're going to be talking about niceness. And the reason why I brought that up is because I'm known to be like extremely kind and extremely nice. It's just my nature. I can't get away from it. Um, but it usually tends to be, what should I say, a way for people to judge me. Um, so let's talk about it on our podcast today. Um, Kindness and niceness. Um, Can you run a business as a woman or a man and be nice? That's the question. Do you have to be nasty and mean and cruel and manipulative and play mind games? Is it necessary? Now, we know that dealing with human beings and dealing with the public and people in general, like people are people, right? But at the end of the day, do we have to change who we are to be successful? Do I have to change my nature as a kind, loving, nice person to a mean, um, manipulative, selfish? Do I have to put that face on? Um, if I'm nice, to me, I'm thinking. I mean, I just know it, right? If I'm nice and I'm kind, that's just something that I can't get away from. So if you're able to switch from kindness to like total, like mean, can't smile, I mean, to me, that just seems like it's more of your nature. That's who you are, right? And if you put that face on long enough, it sticks. So can we? That's the question. Can I be nice and not have people take advantage of me? Can I be nice and kind and not have people try to manipulate me? Can I be nice and kind and loving and not have people strategically play mind games? People play mind games, and it's quite interesting why we have to do that as entrepreneurs and why we have to do that as business owners. Um, it's just baffling to me. But it happens. So, as far as I'm concerned, I would say yes. The answer to that question to me is yes. I think that you can be nice, right? Um, I think that you can be nice and still powerful, respected, and with that comes success as a woman entrepreneur and as a man. Um, I think being nice doesn't mean weak or naive. It's usually perceived as that, as somebody being weak and naive. And then it usually takes you out of character, out of the character out of your natural caring character. To me, it seems like people almost always want to, what we say, try you. Why you always want to try me? Why you want to try me? Like if I don't get out of character and I haven't done it in 20 years, this is just who I am. I don't get why people always try to provoke and poke. And they do it purposefully just to see if you would like, fall off it like, is she really like that? Really? You know? And they get fun out of it. It's really sick to me. Um Even if you haven't seen niceness, kindness, and a love like that before, I think that, people try to find out, hey, how did you get there? How are you like this? Where did this come from? Find out and then see what is missing in your life that you can adjust to it, right? Instead of trying to change me to being somebody that I'm not, try to figure out, hey, where does she get that from? Like it's just unreal and unnormal, right? To them, might be to them, but to people like me and like people, in this that are just naturally loving, kind, and caring. Um, I think people just don't know how to take it. They just don't know how to accept it, right? So then, as I said, that's something that they need to address. It's not me. So, can I be successful in business being kind? Absolutely. You can do it. Niceness does not mean weakness. It means leading with emotional intelligence, empathy, and integrity. In many cases, most effective leaders, especially women in business, balance. They balance the kindness with boundaries and empathy with decisiveness. Now, not all women, because I've had some women bosses, and baby, mm, those sisters were. Oh, you could tell that they definitely had um, some character flaws and some things, some traumas that they need to work through. It was bad. It was bad. I almost went on to say that I do not ever want a woman boss ever, ever. But mm, whew, it was bad. But I think that I think that they can be nice and they don't have to be, you know, mean and upset. And another thing too, they don't have to bring the stuff that you got at home or anywhere else, like outside of what's going on. I think if you're being an entrepreneur and you're in that space, I think that you should try your best to have emotional intelligence for that space. Don't bring stuff from home, the car, your kids, your husband, your boyfriend, stuff that you might be internalizing from other people. Just, it takes a lot of emotional intelligence to not have that shine through. Because then it just it just deteriorates your leadership. Like it mm, how should I say this? Mm, it minimizes who you are as a person. When you gotta be when you bring stuff in from home, it just says, hey, that you don't know how to shake stuff off, right? And when you don't know how to do that and you internalize it, it usually festers into um, anger and hatred and meanness. So we never want to get there, right? So being nice and successful means setting clear expectations. And that's I think that is like the main reason why people kind of get upset and they internalize stuff and then they either take stuff from home and bring it inside the job or they take the job stuff and take it home. Um, and then, it starts getting murky. The waters start getting murky. The world is from success and business and home life. It just gets murky and dirty and you can't clear it up because you never set clear expectations in the beginning. And now you're trying to do it and it went too far. So it's a way for you to set clear expectations while treating people with respect. Okay? You can do that. And you can be nice while you're doing it. You don't have to be nasty. It's a way to do it. Okay. Um, Especially if you're hiring new people, um, I would say to implement that as soon as they get hired. Hey, you know what? You can take Friday off. I just have to know about it. You know what I mean? And I do have to know about it a day in advance, or 2 days, or 3 days, or 5 days, or whatever your rule is. But it must be clear expectations. And then when that's, if they break it, then you need to sit them down right away. You can't just let that stuff fester because then it's just going to keep going and going and going. So you have to nip it in the bud as soon as possible. Okay. With a smile. Right? We never want to be disrespectful, right? Um, Leading with collaboration and not intimidation. That's huge. Um, a lot of people think that they have to look mean and talk, you know, short to be intimidating because they don't want people to take advantage of them. But at the end of the day, you just you don't it never comes across like that. It comes across that you're nasty, and then nobody wants to come in your office and talk to you if things are going wrong, and your employees are actually the persons on the front line that are going to tell you how to run your business because they're there every day. They're on the front line. They're in the thick of it. So if you think that leading from intimidation and meanness, you're never going to know what's going on in your business. And then despite that, your employees are going to leave. You're going to have a revolving door. So it just doesn't make sense. Um, so yeah, no, we never want to lead from intimidation. We always want to collab with our employees because they're the frontliners. They tell us how to run our business. They tell us marketing. Pretty much, they tell us everything how to run our business. They do because they'll say, "Hey, people don't like this. The clients don't like that. The customers don't like this." And then if you listen to them, you can kind of get a handle on your holes early out and adjust it and keep on moving, right? And grow, grow, grow. Um, the next thing is being uplifting. So that's another thing with having a nice boss. They can be uplifting um, without sacrificing standards, right? So I can uplift you and tell you, hey, you're beautiful, you're brilliant, but you can't come in here with a tank top and your stomach out. No, we're not doing that, right? So I think you're wonderful. Hey, I think you are absolutely brilliant. And I think that's called the sandwich method, where you kind of, compound it. You tell them something really, really brilliant, and then you give them the business, and then you compliment them at the end. See? So being a nice person is needed and wanted in the just the business space and overall. Okay, it's wanted and needed. Um, Saying no gracefully and enforcing boundaries. Okay, and this does take a level of kindness and it takes a level of skill because I could say no to you, right? But the tone that I use can totally throw you off. So this takes a level of skill with tone, also with emotional intelligence, and also with empathy, being kind. Um, and then you also have to be firm about it, right? So it's a way to say, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm just not going to do it. And you don't have to explain yourself, and you can just say, I'm just not. That's not what I'm going to do. It's not in my goals. And yeah. So saying no gracefully and enforcing boundaries, it's a skill that a lot of us need to learn, and it'll eliminate a lot of problems, okay, in your business as far as bringing on people and, if I have a training time, this is just an example. Say I'm training employees at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. is the time. Once you're past 7 p.m., you're late. And if you're not past 7 p.m. and you don't even show up, then I'm locking the doors on the next time when you come in. That's just how it's going to go. Okay. And I'm going to set those boundaries up early, up front. We're not going to, and then, if you want to go ahead and break them, that's on you. Just, your consequences. And you say it with a smile. But I never go past my boundaries. If I say, hey, 30-minute meeting, it's going to be a 30-minute meeting. And that's it. Right. So it's a skill. It's a skill, but it's necessary. And it doesn't have to be a no, I'm not doing that. Or no. And then that's just it. You know what I mean? No. So this is definitely a good one. Saying no gracefully and enforcing boundaries with kindness, but firmness. All right. Negotiating powerfully while remaining ethically, while remaining ethical and professional. I love this one. You know what you know what you know. Okay. And what you don't know, you can say, hey, gracefully, I'm going to find out. But negotiating does not have to mean that you're like totally mean, totally bashing somebody, bashing the work of others, bashing the work of your co-workers or your business partner, throwing them under the bus. You don't have to do that to negotiate. You do not have to do that. Um, and with this one, negotiation is powerful. Usually, the less that you say when you do speak, it's very powerful because people are like, wow, you know, they, your words weigh more when you're not loud and you're not always speaking. So this one, I do love this one. This one is really, really good. Um, Kindness is I truly believe that it comes from within. Um, it just comes from your spirit. It's just who you are. So I would say never, ever, 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 ever change who you are. Can we adjust? Yes. Can we learn different skills to protect it and to enhance it? Yes. But I will never, ever, ever change who I am within just to be considered successful and a shrewd businesswoman. I'm not doing it. Okay. So I just want to say thank you guys. This was a wonderful, wonderful conversation. Um, my takeaways from today is kindness is success because not everybody has that skill these days. Not everybody knows how to empathize and sympathize with people. Um, I absolutely do think that kindness is a huge strength. It is a huge strength. When you walk in a room and you smile and nobody's smiling, it's contagious. It's just contagious. It opens people up. They get comfortable. Um, and all of the anger and hate and distress It's a de-stressor too. It's just kindness is just needed. Again, please never, ever, 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 ever change who you are within for anybody. Okay. If you're hurting people now, on the other hand, if you're being nasty and mean, now you need to change that. You need to mind that business. Okay. Get some help. Get to a therapist. Okay. But as far as kindness, yes, it is needed, and I'm not changing for anyone. And I don't think you should change for anybody either. Okay? Don't change. Okay? Um, and that was it. I hope this was helpful to somebody. Um, this is how I feel on a regular basis. I'm just, people are always trying to change me, test me, see if I'm really, the person that I am. And I don't think it's that rare. I don't think it's rare for people to be genuinely nice to people. But now the more that I see manipulativeness and anger and mind games, I realize that I guess kindness is a rare thing. It's sad. However, we move on. Okay. So if you have been told before that you're not welcoming, you're not a very nice person, and you're mean, you don't have to be like that. We could switch that up. We could mind your business and you can get some therapy and find out where the bottom root causes of that is. And you could get rid of it. It never looks good on anybody, man or woman. Okay? All right. Well, I just want to say bye, guys. Thanks for coming and minding your business today with me. I appreciate it. See you on the next episode. Bye bye.